Planetary, Archaeologists of the Impossible, Issue Number 1. All over the world.
Coffee tastes like your dog took a leak in it.
Dog's gotta go someplace. You don't like it, and you get on out. Goddamn air conditioning always freaks out when you come in.
Is it cold in here, then? I don't really feel the weather. I have a job for you. It pays $1 million a year for the rest of your life, no matter how long you work for us, no matter how long your life turns out to be. Plus, we'll wipe whatever records of your existence remain. In return, we want the exclusive use of you, your talents, your memories, your experience. You have an idea of what's really been going on in this century, the secret history. Help us uncover the rest. That's the job.
Anything?
Yeah, get her a coffee. One just like mine. I have no idea why I'm doing this. I've got no proof you're going to do anything you say you will.
Well, I figure you could walk back to that diner and drink that swill and eat that crap until you eventually die of renal failure and flatulence. Or you could take a small chance and have a life. That's the decision.
Get a job or drink coffee flavored with dog urine for all eternity. Tough one. Not bad. Some decent clothes, unlimited room service, time on my own, a platinum card in my pocket. Either I've gone insane, or they poisoned the food, or it's for real. Don't know which scares me more.
Mr. Snow, it's Jakita Wagner. How are you doing, Mr. Snow? I see the tailor you ordered has been and gone. Very nice. 2 days well spent. Welcome to the New York office of Planetary.
Who's paying for all this, Wagner?
We are. Well, Planetary is. The organization. Follow me. We've got a job.
Am I playing 20 goddamn questions here?
Okay. It's the fourth man who pays for everything.
Fourth man?
We don't know his name. That's part of the deal. He could be Bill Gates, he could be Hitler. All we know is he has more money than God and funds everything we do without question. We call him the fourth man of Planetary. Planetary's always been a 3-person team, and...
Where's the third man, then?
Downstairs, waiting for us.
Hold on. What happened to the last third man, then? The one before me?
Tell you some other time. When we've worked it out for ourselves. Elijah Snow, meet the drummer.
Drummer? What, we're using code names now? What's your name, son?
The drummer. First name, the. Second name, drummer.
Don't mind the drummer. He's crazy. Am not. He talks to machines.
Do they talk back to him? Or do the antipsychotics stop him from sucking television sets?
It's his talent. Machines do as he says, but, you know, he's nuts. What's the word, drums?
Adirondacks.
Adirondacks. Big mountains. Some idiot or other planning to put tunnels, roads, and stuff through them. Though God knows what people think they're in the way of. Did resonance scanning, thermal imaging, all that kind of stuff, looking for stresses in the mountains. They found a complex of caves inside a mountain. A very designed-looking complex. Man-made. And you know, no one can see an entrance into this system. But scanning shows it's there. We got a mole in that corporation who throws this to us. We buy some time on a spy satellite. God damn if the entrance isn't masked by a hologram. Now, all this would be weird enough. But do you remember those diaries we stole from the old KGB vaults 2 years back, Jakita? The Adirondacks. Right, the Adirondacks were the last known destination of Doc Brass. What we know about Doctor Axel Brass is limited, to say the least. He was born on January 1, 1900, which got our attention. Same birth date as several other unusual individuals. Disappeared January 1, 1945. By the 30s, he was your genuine Renaissance man. Great scientist, gifted inventor, something of a visionary. The diaries we obtained were kept by an apparent associate of Brass, who died in Berlin during V-Day, 1945. His corpse was evidently ransacked by a Russian officer. The books eventually passed into the hands of the KGB, who sealed them in their vault of forbidden knowledge. We'd never heard of Brass until we read the books. Turns out Brass was also an adventurer. Also, there's evidence that he'd retarded his own aging, and possibly no longer needed to eat. He dealt with things that no one outside his group knew about, things history never recorded, things we should know about.
It's amazing how you can talk for ages but not actually say one damn thing I understand. How do you do that?
Don't piss her off, man.
Why?
Because she can dropkick a rhino over the Grand Canyon.
And I can shove these so far up your butt you'll be able to taste them when you cough.
No wonder you've spent most of your life on your own, man.
Only way I can be guaranteed a useful conversation.
Okay, Snow. Time to earn your pay. We're going in.
You heard her. Get up, you little bastard.
I ain't going anywhere. What do you think I am? Nuts? Out you go, Grandpa.
Haven't tried a stunt like this since the Saigon bug out. You following me down, Wagner?
No. Come on. The entrance is that way, and I want to get there before I retire.
Can you really dropkick a rhino across the Grand Canyon?
Tried it with an old man who irritated the crap out of me and it worked. Might work with a rhino.
How long's Planetary been going?
I have no idea. I joined 4 years ago. Whether it was around before that, I don't know. Nobody said so.
Why'd you join? The money or the secrecy your fourth man can buy?
Neither. I get bored easily. Planetary stops me getting bored.
That's it?
That's it. Look over there.
They all have signs. The Hall of the Carnal Ship. Vestments of the Black Crow King.
The Murder Colonels. A trophy room.
Oh my God. I'm Axel Brass. You damn well better be the good guys.
Please, your guns are useless on me. We're here to help.
You want to help? Shut up and listen. Christ. For God's sake, man, you're wounded, and you've been here since 1945, boy. I eliminated my need for food and sleep in 1942, stopped aging in 43, and learned to close wounds with the power of my mind in 44. So shut up and listen. This is important, and we have no time. You have to understand. You have to listen, or else it's all been for nothing. They called me here in January 45. We built this place 10 years earlier. A secret headquarters, for God's sake, because we didn't feel safe meeting any other way. This was our place, where we rested, planned, celebrated victories, and admired our trophies. There were monsters abroad in the world, things the world didn't need to know about. We were different, special, greater. We took that responsibility upon ourselves. January of 45, it all changed. I left my associates in New York and came here for our most important meet.
You're a little late. Everything all right, Doctor?
Everything's fine. Let's get on with things.
Edison and Hawk insisted on waiting for you before spilling even a couple of the beans, Axel.
You didn't need to wait for me. Jimmy, how's things on the West Coast?
Strange.
Glad to hear it.
You came all the way from England for this, your lordship.
Africa, actually. Visiting childhood haunts. Can we get this started? I have serious business in Chicago.
You always have serious business.
Okay. You've all dealt with the computers Ed and I put together for you in 40. You know how they work.
Sure. Simple electronics. Binary operation. Electronic calculation using 2 states, on and off.
Good enough. Between us, we've come up with an extrapolation of the computer that's, well, it's kind of frightening.
The world isn't black and white, on or off. It's made of situations that stand in all points between on or off. Shades of gray. In fact, I think the universe is like that. It occupies all possible positions at once.
A multitude of possible alternatives, none of them quite real, all of them contributing towards the actual reality. A calculating device along these lines could perform its operations simultaneously, not serially as in this binary technology.
We'd have a mechanical brain, gentlemen, but unlike any we'd ever imagined.
This quantum brain would perform each calculation across universes, each possible answer being processed in a different world, each alternative universe vanishing, one by one, until the answer made itself real.
Look.
This is the shape of reality, a theoretical snowflake existing in 196,833 dimensional space. The snowflake rotates. Each element of the snowflake rotates. Each rotation describes an entirely new universe. The total number of rotations are equal to the number of atoms making up the Earth. Each rotation makes a new Earth. This is the multiverse.
The brain will generate the snowflake, this vast spread of universes, and allow each to decohere and vanish as the correct answer is approached. It therefore processes information and performs actions simultaneously. Incredible actions. I could code the whole world into a vast string of equations and have a corrected version of the planet Earth returned to me in seconds. We can save the planet. We can do anything. And we did. The others were behind us. We had the agreement we sought. We barely understood even the side effects operating the machine could have. There was a slim chance that a solved equation could rewrite the entire planet's reality, making its mathematical answer an objective truth. But we did it anyway. Hark's elaborate superhuman mathematics encoded geopolitics, psychology, weather systems, the precession of stars, as we attempted to end the Second World War from our armchairs. It was 1945. The atomic bomb hadn't yet been dropped, but we knew it would be. We'd deliberately not entered the war, you see. We knew enough to understand how complex shifting the direction of civilization was. Too many variables. We could never juggle all the myriad possibilities our actions could set in motion. But the brain could. It could furnish us with a solved equation that constituted the perfect plan to end the war as soon as possible, with a minimum death, creating the best possible world society as a result. Hark's math was entered into the brain by Edison as I moved the machine into life, and it began. Wagner, the floor, the entire room. It's the brain. We're sitting inside a computer. And the single terrible flaw in my imagination was the ruin of us all. The snowflake grew. Universes spun into life, their spans measured in seconds by our reckoning. But time moved differently in there. Within each newborn universe, billions of years span out in those few seconds we perceived. And at the end of those few seconds, in the last thinnest splinters of time, a group of people in a mountain hideaway looked across that gulf of realities at us, knowing that their universe was on the verge of decoherence, destruction, and went for us. We saved the world that night. My 6 friends thought not of themselves, their plans, their hopes. They thought only of stopping the invaders. If we hadn't stopped them, they'd have killed everyone on Earth to make room for everyone on their Earth. Only I survived. We nearly destroyed the world, and so we had to save it. But saving it destroyed us. And I couldn't switch the brain off, and so I couldn't leave it. I've had to stay here, stay awake, in case someone else comes through. I figure the year must be 1970 or thereabouts. How am I doing? I think he'll be okay. We have hospitals where he can be taken care of. He can finally rest.
Now I see why 3 choppers. 1 for us, 1 for the medics. What's in the 3rd?
Not telling.
Awake for more than 50 years. Poor bastard. Did Planetary get what they wanted out of this, Wagner?
I don't know. Did we? A quantum computer built during World War II by a secret society of superhumans whom we didn't know existed, plus their hidden headquarters. We did okay.
It's a strange world.
Let's keep it that way.